Hello, hello, and welcome to Sovereign Earth. This is Sovereign Earth 24 already, and this one's on the subject of inspiration. As some of you know, I was going to talk about this and sing about this last week, but I was laid up with flu, so I wasn't feeling very inspired at that point. So Inspiration, Sovereign Earth 24. My name's JJ Middleway, and I'm feeling a lot better, thankfully. And here we are in a new year, and inspiration seems to be a fitting theme. And a welcome. I can see a few people joining me, which is always reassuring and lovely. Carol Matthews from my hometown of Stroud. Mark, I know from Leicester, Mark Taft, John from up in Scotland, and Karen Cooper from Banbury, I believe, and Tina Weiss from Germany. Great, lovely to see you. Happy New Year, all of you, and anyone else who gets to see this and joins me. Inspiration. So the whole theme of Sovereign Earth is topics that are meaningful and often neglected in our world. And actually, I wasn't going to say this at the start, but this strikes me as something really significant. I read this recently. It said, it was about psychology. It said in modern psychology, inspiration is not frequently studied. Can you believe that? In modern psychology, inspiration is not frequently studied, and it's generally seen as being an entirely internal process. Excuse me. Not frequently studied, we know that, and generally seen as an internal process. How amazing is that? How crazy! And all these things, all these great gifts of our world, we don't study or we don't teach in school. Gosh, inspiration. Although, how do you teach inspiration? Well, let's look a little bit at what inspiration is. So, inspiration comes from the word inspirare, the Latin inspirare, to breathe into. To breathe into, as if, so inspiration, it's like, it's there, it's kind of accessible, but we need to connect with it in some way. So maybe through active imagination, or maybe through, it's a gift, a divine gift, maybe it's just making space and time, or maybe we're blessed with it. But it's a universal wonder and a magical truth. And it's accessed and revealed and reflected in our world through such tools and such means as song and poetry, music, poetry, art. So these things are not direct. They're not direct means of reflecting inspiration. It's as if we have to approach it tangentially or indirectly, as if it's too much, maybe too bright, and would overwhelm us if it was full on. And in fact, what's really interesting is that it was said, it's the old tales have it, don't they? The old tales said, if you go up on a mountainside for 3 days and 3 nights, you either go mad or you become a brilliant poet. So that tale relates either to Snowdonia, Cadair Idris, Snowdon, a mountain in North Wales where they would go, and it was a test. They'd either go mad or they'd become inspired with poetry and song. And the realms of inspiration do veer towards and teeter on the edge. And that's reflected in the fact that we know a lot of inspired artists and poets, they can sometimes go over the edge. Was Van Gogh is a good example of that. Beautiful, amazing art. And he said, I dream my painting and I paint my dream. Let's have a song, seeing as it's close. song is a reflection of inspiration, that breath, something we breathe into. I step into the flow and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart and my soul. I step into the flow and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart and my soul. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. I open my mind, my heart and my soul. I open my mind, my heart and my soul. I'm seeing some lovely messages on here. Good evening from Portugal, it's Linda. There's a lovely one from John King. Bonkers, yes. Bonkers. Yeah, we have to be bonkers, don't we, to be inspired. I think there's a definite link, a touch of bonkers. Yeah, are you bonkers? Can you access bonkerism and being bonkers? And the Jano from Tuscany, Amber Ford from upstate New York. How amazing, how beautiful, from all over the world. That inspires me. I am inspired to think of us all here in this moment around the globe and honouring sovereign Earth. That's who I dedicate all this whole program to. So, yeah, I said about modern psychology regarding inspiration is not frequently studied and it's a completely internal process, which is madder to go on a mountainside for 3 days and 3 nights and seek inspiration, or to neglect the subject of inspiration in our schools, in our universities, and too often in our lives. Okay. So inspiration, it's that which connects us to the source. It's linked to the word enthusiasm. And enthusiasm also means breath of God, divine, to be possessed by divine spirit. So we start to dig a little bit deeper into what the essence of inspiration. Inspirare, to breathe into, but now we're looking at possessed by divine spirit, breathed by God. And I find it fascinating in the Christian tradition. If you think about inspiration, we talk about being imbued with the Holy Spirit. And then in the Norse tradition, it's inspiration is something derived from the gods, sort of derived from Odin, the gift of Odin. And then in the Greek tradition, the myths of Greece, inspiration comes from the muses, the goddesses, who can give these gifts of poetry, science, art and song. So there's a link there. It's a gift of the divine. And we've got this story in the Druid tradition, which many of you know, about, well, the story of Taliesin. I can't go into it in great detail here. It could take a long time, but the essence of it is this young child, Guillaume Bach. He's a servant of Ceridwen, and he stirs the cauldron of inspiration for a year and a day, and he stirs it not for himself but for Ceridwen's son, who's ugly, and she wants to give him a gift to compensate for that, of inspiration and knowledge. And so Guillaume Bach stirs this, but and then it gets to the appointed time when it's complete, and 3 drops, note, of this cold boiling liquid get onto his thumb, and he puts, well, they forget exactly how it is, but he imbues 3 drops of divine liquid from the cauldron, and immediately he's possessed, I guess, with inspiration and a form of enlightenment. One could even take it to, but let's not get hung up on that. And he goes on, because he knows Ceridwen will be absolutely livid with him. He transforms himself into various shapes, and she she chases him, and she transforms, he transforms. And there's this dance of life and death. He has to give up. He has to give up various forms of being and shapeshift and shed skins. And eventually he turns into a seed, and she a hen, and she gobbles him up. And in her womb, he gestates and he develops, and she gives birth to this child, this divine child. And she can't bring herself to kill him. So she puts him in a basket on the ocean, and off he drifts. Is found by the wizard, Merlin, who names him Taliesin. And what is Taliesin? Radiant brow. So this inspiration is linked, radiant brow. There's a beautiful song from my friends Corwin and Kate up in Orkney, many of you will know them too. Orkney off the Scottish east coast. And that's where they live now, but they wrote this when they lived in southern England. But bless them. This alludes to the inspiration which can be found in nature. Nature is the essence of accessing and retrieving and communing with inspiration. So, I went down to the water's edge, there I found my coat of sealskin. I went up to the mountain high, there I found my cloak of feathers. I will swim and I will fly, tell the tales the birds have taught me. I will swim and I will fly, sing the song the sea has brought me. I went down to the water's edge, there I found my coat of sealskin. I went up to the mountain high, there I found my cloak of feathers. I will swim and I will fly, tell the tales the birds have taught me. I will swim, I will fly, sing the songs the sea has brought me. So yeah, we get inspiration is accessible by song, and I love the way song inspires me in my life, and when I connect with it, I am inspired. I feel inspired when I sing. So Arwen, this word Arwen, in those who have studied a druid or follow a druid path know this word Arwen, which is all about inspiration. It's an ancient word. And Arwen derives, the word, this is fascinating, it derives from the ancient Indo-European aul, which means to blow. So again, air, breath, to blow. And in the Old Welsh, it's linked to the Old Welsh, awel, breeze of inspiration. But how fascinating. So we've got this Arwen, as we understand it, and as I've understood it, is flowing spirit, divine inspiration. Could also be breath of life, breathing into. So inspiration is to breathe into, and Arwen to blow or breeze. So it's a quality or a grace that is gifted. It comes to us often unbidden. And it's about being receptive to it, but it's also being blessed with this divine gift. And it's interesting to think of the link between the word Arwen and the more familiar word of awe, A-W-E, awe. So when I'm in awe of something, it can take my breath away, or it can infuse, or it can just breathe life into me. I look at the landscape, and we all know that place of awe, and we're inspired. And if we're lucky, we get a taste of that more often in life, but it's quite elusive, and yeah, it's beautiful. Here's another song about the Arwen, another friend of mine, Nimue Brown, lives in Stroud with Tom. But she wrote this, which I think is a really lovely hint at the inspiration of the Arwen and of inspiration itself. So again, the trusty drum. I'm going to have a quick drink of water before that, if I can find the glass. Here's to you. It's water, not gin. And this is a beautiful song. Three drops, fire in my head. 3 drops, fire in my head. 3 drops, fire in my head. 3 drops of inspiration. Drink from the cauldron, fire in my head. Drink from the cauldron, fire in my head. Drink from the cauldron, fire in my head. 3 drops of inspiration. Salmon in the well, fire in my head. Salmon in the well, fire in my head. Salmon in the well, fire in my head. 3 drops of inspiration. 3 drops, fire in my head. 3 drops, fire in my head. 3 drops, fire in my head. 3 drops of inspiration. Into the forest, fire in my head. Into the forest, fire in my head. Into the forest, fire in my head. 3 drops of inspiration. Okay. So let's just bring all that together. I invite you to just close your eyes for a moment. To inspire, to literally to breathe in, to breathe the beauty of life, the breeze, to breathe in and to go deep in the body, to relax, to fully relax, and to take ourselves in our mind's eye, an invitation to take ourselves in our mind's eye to a sacred grove in the forest, a place perhaps familiar, beautiful grove of trees, inspiring and awesome in their own right. Smelling the rich humus earth, feeling the breeze, and opening one's eyes in the grove, in the inner grove, not in this world. Being inspired by the view, perhaps a beautiful ocean to my right, and beautiful mountains to my left. Absolutely awesome landscape, really beautiful. And just feeling the awesomeness and the wonderment of it. Become aware of hearing the breeze now, not just feeling a breeze, but you hear a more distant wind, a breeze, breath of air flowing through the forest around you, gaining momentum and speed and coming towards you. This is the wind of inspiration, the breath of inspiration, flowing and blowing and coming towards you, and somehow entering the grove and flowing towards you and somehow into you, maybe through your skin or through your mouth, whatever way you take it in. This wind, this breeze, the blowing of inspiration. Savouring what it is to be inspired in this world. Savouring the beauty of the landscape, of the ocean and the mountains. And just carrying that essence and that sense of inspiration of Arwen, Inspirare, the divine gift of the gods or the goddesses, of the muses. Feeling it available, accessible, and within us. It's within us and around us, and we can breathe it in and contact it and seek inspiration whenever we choose. So just opening our eyes again, coming back into this realm, this world. Yeah. I think this whole notion of the connection of through Arwen, through Inspirare, the breeze, the blowing air, and then through the different traditions, Norse, Christian, Greek, whatever, Druidic, this divine gift of the gods and goddesses from divine spirit, inspiration. If ever we needed inspiration, it is in these dark times. There's a beauty of winter and I love it, but to be inspired, and also with all that's going on in the world, to come back to these key elements and these key gifts, which are the salvation of our earth, I believe, and of our communities, and as individuals and as a society. And I want to thank you, Mark Taft, for saying this is your weekly gift of happiness, your little Sovereign Earth offerings. I hope others of you find it so that the Sovereign Earth is a gift of inspiration and of soulfulness and happiness. And I leave you to work on your inspiration and to express it and give it as a gift in the world, which is what we need. And to tell you that next week I'll be looking at the subject and singing on the subject of truth. Another key one that gets forgotten too often. Bye for now. Love and blessings. Lots of love. Bye.